ECPE Book 2, Practice Examinations, Copyright Hellenic American Union, 2008. Examination 1. This section of the examination tests your understanding of spoken English. The listening section has 3 parts. There are 50 questions. Mark all your answers on the separate answer sheet. Do not make any stray marks on the answer sheet. If you change your mind about an answer, erase your first answer completely. Listening Test Part 1. In this part, you will hear short conversations. From the 3 answer choices given, choose the answer which means about the same thing as what you hear, or what is true based upon what you hear. For example, listen to the conversation.
Have you tried the new coffee shop on the corner?
Not yet, but I've heard it's nice. Let's check it out.
The correct answer is B. For problems 1 through 17, mark your answer on the separate answer sheet. No problems can be repeated. Please listen carefully. Do you have any questions? Number 1.
What time did you get here?
Just a few minutes ago.
Oh, good. So I'm not the only one who's late.
Number 2.
Are you working online?
Not just now. Why?
I'm trying to get connected and I can't.
Number 3.
I wish I could keep better notes.
I know what you mean. I used to have the same problem last year. Don't worry, you'll soon get better at it.
I hope so.
Number 4.
They've hired a new secretary in the office next door.
So I've heard, but I haven't seen her. What's she like?
Polite, but quite lost with everything that's new around her.
Number 5.
What time are you flying tomorrow?
At 9, but I have to be at the airport at 8 o'clock, which means I have to leave home at 7 in the morning.
I'd get an early night's sleep if I were you.
Number 6.
What are you complaining about this time?
Look who's talking. You haven't stopped nagging about the work you've got.
So are you complaining about me now?
Number 7.
I used to drive to work, but now I take the subway.
I still drive to work. I just can't stand public transportation.
It's a matter of habit, I guess.
Number 8.
Why didn't you choose to write an assignment for Professor Brown's course?
I hadn't realized there was a choice.
Right, you could have either written an assignment or taken an exam.
Number 9.
I'm too tired to come tonight.
Oh no, what a pity. We would have had such a great time.
Oh, give my apologies to Jane and Peter for me.
Number 10.
When is the deadline?
On Thursday?
Are you going to make it?
I'm really hoping he'll give an extension. Number 11.
Has Mary completed the report yet?
She would have had she not been called to the meeting.
Number 12.
When will dinner be ready?
As soon as the meat is cooked. Number 13.
Why didn't you come?
I had visitors for the weekend.
How come you didn't tell me?
I didn't know they were coming. They turned up unexpectedly. Number 14.
We've got a meeting on Monday.
How do you know?
They sent out the meeting request this morning. Check your email.
I did a couple of hours ago.
Number 15.
The number one priority is to educate children, not dress them up in the latest fashion.
My kids couldn't care less about fashion. Number 16.
I like Sue. She's creative and she's dynamic.
You think so? What about her temper?
Number 17.
I can't forgive myself for what I did.
We all make mistakes. You can't go through life without making mistakes.
I suppose you're right.
End of Part 1. Part 2. In this part of the test, you will hear a question. From the 3 answer choices given, choose the one which best answers the question. Example.
Let's agree to meet at 7:30 then.
The correct answer is A. For problems 18 through 35, mark your answers on the separate answer sheet. No problems can be repeated. Please listen carefully. Do you have any questions? Number 18.
How long will it take you to drive to the city?
Number 19.
Why was Jane admitted to the hospital?
Number 20.
Did you buy any silk fabric from China?
Number 21.
Why are you going to Germany for Christmas?
Number 22.
How much money do I need to withdraw from the bank?
Number 23.
What happened to that cheese I got the other day?
Number 24.
Why do you think there are not many organ donors in this country?
Number 25.
Has anyone made you an offer for your house yet?
Number 26.
How is your research coming along?
Number 27.
Why are they investigating this case?
Number 28.
I heard Mr. Smith was fired yesterday.
Number 29.
Whose responsibility is it to revise the report?
Number 30.
Why are the two companies merging?
Number 31.
Are you worried about Susan's ability or time management?
Number 32.
How did you find the food at that new restaurant?
Number 33.
Why are you going to that shop again?
Number 34.
What happened to you last night?
Number 35.
I can't seem to be able to get onto this website.
End of Part 2. Part 3. In this part, you will hear 3 short segments from a radio program. The program is called Learning from the Experts. You will hear what 2 different radio guests have to say about 3 different topics. Each talk lasts about 2 minutes. As you listen, you may want to take notes to help you remember information given in the talk. Write your notes in this test booklet. After each talk, you will be asked some questions about what was said. From the 3 answer choices given, you should choose the one which best answers the question according to the information you heard. Remember, no problems can be repeated. For problems 36 through 50, mark your answers on the separate answer sheet. Do you have any questions? Segment 1.
The study of language is a fascinating field, covering as it does the entire range of human experience. But scientists who study language can sometimes come up with some surprising results. Academic research has been focusing on the differences in the ways men and women communicate. Jay Hartz reports.
Even those without any form of linguistic training will have noticed that men and women appear to have different communication techniques, so much so that it is wryly suggested that they almost seem to come from different planets. Now, new studies back up a multitude of observations by marriage guidance counselors on how the two sexes, particularly husbands and wives, apparently speak the same language and yet somehow may completely fail to communicate.
The studies claim that women are much more verbally skilled than men and talk much more. They also claim that the underlying reasons for language use also vary between the sexes, with women using speech to create connections and a sense of community, while men's speech is more about accomplishing a goal. As a result, women speak of people, relationships, and feelings, while men concentrate on facts.
The suggestion is that men are more interested in using language competitively in establishing and maintaining status within a group, and so use more direct language, whereas women prefer to foster cooperation and approach topics in a more indirect manner. This is one of the differences which has often led to marital strife, whereby the husband exclaims, "Why don't you say what you mean?"
Although some linguists have taken claims that men lack verbal dexterity to extremes, putting their linguistic abilities on a par with those of Lassie the dog, look, I think he's trying to tell us something, others take issue with the overgeneralized nature of such claims, preferring the labels male type and female type, while still others refuse to accept that any significant difference exists between the sexes.
It is generally accepted that brain scans of male type and female type brains do appear to exhibit differences in terms of which portions of the brain function when processing speech. However, to what extent the speech produced depends on social, cultural, and status factors, in addition to biological ones, still remains to be seen. Whatever the outcome, it is to be hoped that future research will help bring these two protagonists of the verbal battle of the sexes into the same communicative orbit.
Number 36. What point does the speaker make about husbands and wives? Number 37. What does the speaker say is the purpose behind women's use of language? Number 38. Why does the speaker suggest men might use more direct language? Number 39. What is the current view of linguists regarding male and female speech? Number 40. How have brain scans helped the debate on male and female speech? Segment 2. In these days of increasing globalization, more and more interest is focusing on minority languages and cultures. Nowhere is this more true than in Europe, where many of these languages are fighting for their survival. But what of the history behind these languages and peoples? Patricia Johnston reports.
When most people think of the Celts, they think of the peoples from the fringes of Europe, particularly Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. Some may also be aware that Celtic speakers also exist in northern France, in Brittany, which takes its name from Britain, after the Celts living there fled to France to escape the Anglo-Saxon invaders in the 5th century. What is less well known is that the territories once controlled by the Celtic peoples stretched from one side of the European continent to the other. We asked Michael Flynn, a Celtic historian, to tell us more.
The birthplace of Celtic culture has been identified by archaeologists as being in the areas of what is now Austria and Switzerland. Two major consecutive cultures have been recognized, named after the key sites of Hallstatt and Laten. From this region, the Celts spread out to conquer large tracts of surrounding territory, spreading westwards through France into the Iberian Peninsula, south into Italy, and east, raiding as far as Greece and settling in modern-day Turkey as the Galatians.
Although illiterate themselves, the Celts soon figured in the writings of those they came in contact with, either through trade or battle. For Roman writers, they were ruthless invaders, having sacked Rome in the 4th century BC. The Greeks also recorded their ferocious incursions, and particularly their looting of the sacred site of Delphi. On a less destructive note, the Galatians of Anatolia are well known through the letters of St. Paul, while the mission of St. Patrick in Ireland kindled a light of learning that was to burn bright, exporting scholars when the rest of Western Europe had fallen under the sway of barbarian hordes.
Though infamous for their warlike tendencies, the Celts were great artists and metalworkers. Men of high rank boasted a golden torque, a band worn around the neck, usually of twisted gold strands, and which was often richly ornamented. Fabulous artwork can also be seen on buckles and mountings, while even those that feared them as warriors also recorded their love of poetry and song.
Fortunately, while their languages are slowly fading away, modern genetic studies show that, far from being wiped out, the genes of local peoples continue to dominate despite the passage of waves of invaders. As campaigners struggle to preserve old traditions and customs, in this way, if no other, the Celtic legacy continues to live on.
Number 41. According to the speaker, where were the ancient Celtic territories? Number 42. Who were the Galatians? Number 43. What does the speaker say the Celts in Ireland were? Number 44. Who would wear a torque in Celtic society? Number 45. What Celtic legacy does the speaker say will continue? Segment 3.
As modern technology continues to evolve, new products and techniques are being developed which once were only found in the realms of science fiction books. Madeline Farrow reports on research into one such invention.
Every child's dream, and not a few adults, is a cloak of invisibility. From disappearing from unpleasant bullying to taking a peek at a test the day before, the thought has crossed many a school kid's mind. They also appear in many fantasy books and movies, such as those of Harry Potter. But now, this dream may be in the process of becoming a reality, as Japanese scientists work on a very special type of cloak designed to completely obscure the wearer. Pierre Lambert tells us more.
The new type of cloak is far from mumbo-jumbo, but instead is the latest word in high tech. The material from which it is made is entirely coated with minuscule light-reflective beads and fitted with cameras to project an image of what would be seen on the other side of the wearer if the wearer were not in fact there. The desired effect of this optical camouflage is to make the wearer blend in with the background and so appear invisible.
As yet, the material has only been used to conceal small items. Cloaking an entire human being would require a costly number of stereoscopic cameras, not to mention over 11.6 hyperpixels a state-of-the-art supercomputer, and an efficient and compact power source to run the system. If these issues can be resolved economically, there is then the question of ease of mobility.
Even though still in its initial stages, the concept is drawing attention from a number of sources keen to exploit its potential. For the military, it would enable the positioning of troops unseen. For the airline industry, it would help pilots see the exact position of the runway as if no floor existed beneath them, while even, or perhaps particularly, the worst drivers would benefit from being able to see better while parking.
Unethical use would of course need to be guarded against. Cloaks of invisibility would be high on the wanted lists for criminals planning a bank heist or even for simple shoplifters. Perhaps most seriously, there is also the danger that privacy could be seriously compromised by citizens and governments alike. So, like most new measures, almost as soon as it is invented, countermeasures will have to be invented as well.
Number 46. Who does the speaker say dreams of owning a cloak of invisibility? Number 47. What should a person looking at an invisible cloak see? Number 48. What is the principal problem which prevents scientists from cloaking a person? Number 49. What benefit does the speaker mention for invisibility? Number 50. What does the speaker say is the most important drawback to the new technology? End of part 3. End of the listening test.